Hello everyone, my name is Dr. Kartikay Bisen from Department of Plant Pathology, Faculty of Agricultural Sciences and Allied Industry, Rama University, Kanpur. Today we are going to discuss two major diseases of rice, which one is first one is Xanthomonas oryzae, Pathovore oryzae, and disease name is bacterial blight of rice, and second disease we will discuss about the sheet blight of rice caused by Rhizoctonia solani. So we are going to discuss one major bacterial disease and one major fungal disease. The first one is bacterial blight of rice, which is caused by genus Xanthomonas oryzae, Pathovore oryzae. This bacterium is a rod shaped gram negative particle and having a single polar flagella. About the symptom, the disease, the pathogen produce two major symptoms of the crops on the basis of their ages or the stages. The first symptom is crescent. Crescent symptoms mostly include the wilt in the seedlings of the rice, and the symptoms often observed after the 1 to 3 weeks after the transplanting. The leaves will dry up and rolled up and they will turn gray, then yellow, and this will only depict the wilting in the seedlings. Take, and after the complete wilting, in severe instances, severe cases, if the infection is very severe, the plants may die in the field. Then the second one is leaf blight. This is the symptoms which is produced on the matured plant, which is going towards maturity or the tailoring stage. The leaves in first one is in the leaf blight phase, the margin of the leaves is turned grayish and later it's turned into yellow color, and the often water soaked lesions are formed on the margins of the leaves and sometimes in the middle portion, middle of the leaves, and the small water soaked lesion later become merged and make a large strip of the gray and yellow color alongside the leaf blades. You can see in the symptoms, leaf with elongated grayish lesions typical of the blight disease. This is the typical symptom of the blight disease, and this one is where rice with white leaves and the dead seedling, crescent stage of the disease as earlier discussed. The crescent phase will attack on the 1 to 3 weeks after the transplanting. These are the rice with white leaves. In crescent symptoms, after the wilting of the plant, the leaves will turn yellow, then white, and ultimately turn yellow in the field, and the dead seedlings, you can see the rice with the white leaves and the dead seedling in the crescent stages of the disease. So these two picture depicts the significance or the major typical symptom of the two phases of the disease. Which one is first one is crescent symptom and means wilting in the seedling, and second one is the leaf blight. Ultimately on these symptoms, the disease is named after this particular symptom, because this is the most common symptom in the bacterial blight of rice, which is caused by Xanthomonas oryzae, Pathovore oryzae. Another things to remember here, in every bacterial disease there is a common symptom, peculiar symptoms for every bacterial disease. There is a exudate of bacterial ooze on the site of the infection. So here you can see the bacterial oozes or the exudates, liquid exudes from at the site of the infection, and these are the picture showed the dried up bacterial oozes. These are the fresh bacterial ooze after the infection, and in every ooze there are millions of bacteria, and this after exposed to the air or rainwater or the irrigation water, the bacterial will transmit to the another plant or another field, and this is the dried bacterial ooze. So bacterial leaf blight of rice, and you can see the closer view of the infected plants. You can see here all the leaf blades are turned into grayish color. First they will develop as a water soaked lesions, which ultimately merge and make a strip of the long grayish lesions on the leaf blade. And you can see here the clean picture of this is the same bacterial ooze inside the leaves at the site of the infection. The bacterial ooze on the infected leaf, and this is the colony of Xanthomonas oryzae, Pathovore oryzae. Colony is on the culture plate. This bacteria is gold on the grow on the liquid medium and nutrient broth, and you can see here see the colonies of the Xanthomonas oryzae pathover oryzae. Now, coming after the infection, this is two phases. You just have to remember that there is two phases of symptoms mainly on the rice crop. First one is crescent or seedling wilting, which is observed after the 1 to 3 weeks after the transplanting, and is only related to the wilting of the crop seedlings in the field, and later it will produce on mature crop the blight appearance. Regarding disease cycle of the bacterial blight of rice, the two major factors are involved. First one is survival of the bacteria on the infected rice stubbles or the leftovers or the debris which is remain after the harvesting of the plant, and second one is alternate host. In many areas these bacteria are reported to have grown on or infected on or may survive on the alternate and collateral host of the rice plant. So, from there they will infect or transmit to the rice field. This is the diagrammic representation of the Xanthomonas oryzae. This is rod shaped bacteria with a single polar flagella. Now, this will attack on the rice sapling in the infected field, and bacteria then rain splashed or wind blown into the plant wounds, or it will enters through the natural opening of the leaves, which is hydathode and the lenticels and the stomata. The Xanthomonas oryzae pathover oryzae enters in the plants through natural openings. Then the bacteria rain splashed and will blown to the plants, or if the plant is wounded, they will directly get to the plant's tissue. This is the infected leaves, and these bacteria are on the surface of the leaves in the ooze, which we have discussed earlier. The bacterial oozing contain the millions of bacteria and help them to transmit or spread to other plants or other field. Jazanto, there is XOO on the leaf surface and the inside the host tissue. After this, your field look like this. This is the infected rice field after the complete infestation or infection from the bacteria, and this is the rice field after the harvest of the grains or whatever. Now, these summarize, if you want to summarize the disease cycle, the pathogen survives on the leftover or the crop debris or rice stubble in the fields, or it survive on the alternate host, then it will transfer to the rice field in the nursery area or the after the transplanting. If they infect here, they will produce the crescent symptom, and if they attack the mature plant, they will produce the blight symptom. Okay. So, then the one plant is infected, from the infected one bacteria will be transmitted or the spread through wind or rain splash or the irrigation water, and this will ultimately happen. So, ultimately the bacteria will survive in the stubbles or the alternate host. So, this is about your disease bacterial blight of rice. This is a major disease in India and any tropical countries where the rice is cultivated. The pathogen is rod shaped, gram negative and single polar flagella, mostly gram positive because the mostly plant pathogenic bacteria are gram positive. The pathogen produce two kind of symptoms, you have to only remember this. The crescent phase is, sometime it will very frequently asked question in the competitive exam, what is crescent phase? The crescent phase belong to disease or related to disease bacterial blight of rice, which is caused by bacterium Xanthomonas oryzae pathover oryzae, and the second phase is leaf blight. The crescent phase attack on the seedling, this is only related to wilting in the seedling, and it will only observe after 1 to 3 weeks of the transplantation, and second one is observed on the mature plant, which is leaf blight, comprise of long gray or yellowish color of on the leaf blades. This will, so in the summary, the disease is spread through the rain splash or wind borne air, and it will enter in the plants through natural opening, and it is also reported to survive on the many alternate hosts. Next important disease is sheath blight of rice, which is caused by a fungus Rhizoctonia solani. The fungus infects plants by vegetative mycelium or germinating sclerotia producing hyphal threads. Here you can, in the picture you can see, this is the mycelium of the Rhizoctonia solani, and this is culture plate of the Rhizoctonia solani. There are the mycelium all over the plates, and here you can see the black dot structure is sclerotia. Sclerotia is nothing but the modification of mycelium, is a aggregation of the mycelium compact mass, which ultimately turn into round or oval shape, black or brown or dark brown in color. It is just aggregation of lots of mycelium. Then the fungi generally survives through sclerotia in the field, and this is the mycelium of the sheath blight of rice. Next phase, first symptom of the, see here, this is the region where the water levels with the plant. These are the water levels of the plant, and the first symptom appear on the lower leaves near the water level during the tillering stage of the plant. First symptom appears on the lower leaves, always the lower leaf. Here you can see under the red structure, you can see the snake like skin you can see in the plant. This is the green portion, and here the where the infection is already happened, the plant turns into the whitish and yellowish structure with brown color margin. This is called snake skin symptoms, which is resemblance to skin of a snake. The first symptom appear here. The in picture you will see Rhizoctonia solani infected rice leaf sheath at the base of the combs and producing oblong grey water soaked lesion. Oblong grey and water soaked lesions on the sheath of the rice plant. Infection can spread to leaf blade also, and the cause irregular lesion with dark green, brown or yellow orange margins. Here you can see in the picture all the leaf blades are infected, and the here margins are the brown or the orange in color. Next one is the most visible symptom after the severe infection, the pathogen mycelium you can see on the infected side of the plant. The white web like hyphae or the threads of the fungus grow on the sheath and the leaves. Here at this phase, if the pathogen succeed to infect heavily in this area or this sheath of the rice, then ultimately it will produce white web like hyphae of the fungus, and then this is grow on the sheath and leaves of the plant. First, and one important things, you can see here the sclerotia formed on the sheath of the or the plant structure, leaf and leaf sheath. Here the black color of sclerotia is formed, and after some time sclerotia will form on the water or the soil level, and this will survive. This is how pathogens survive up to the next season. Disease first, this is about the disease cycle. Rhizoctonia solani alternate host or sclerotia on the ground infected the rice plant, fragmented mycelium, dispersal of the sclerotia through water. Irrigation water can also disperse the sclerotia, and ultimately sclerotia on the plant debris. This will serve as a primary source of inoculum, and this will infect the next crop in the next season. So, that is it about the sheath blight of rice, the caused by a fungi Rhizoctonia solani which produce sclerotia. This is the primary inoculum, source of primary infection in the sheath blight of rice. Thank you very much.